It was not a cyber attack, and you have to take the words of the CEO of CrowdStrike, George Kurtz, at his word, which means that it was basically a technical update that was faulty. And the essence of it is when you have agents that are autonomous and do the patching and everything, it was more of a problem of quality control than anything to do with a breach. So it's an internal operational problem of CrowdStrike as is. That is correct. It did affect the entire world, especially the airports, the banks, the media companies. Microsoft itself, the Windows operating system, is the most pervasive in the world, basically. The thing that CrowdStrike is they have what I call agentless updates, which means that they have the ability to patch computers autonomously. So Microsoft is part of that because Microsoft CrowdStrike is a vendor to Microsoft. And Microsoft was just basically pliable, getting just a regular update to the software, but it instigated a worldwide crash. And it's not the first time, although this magnitude is the most that the world has ever experienced. But there is a problem when cybersecurity companies try to update software and use patches and use agents inside the internet to do that. That's where you have the most vulnerabilities. It's not a breach, but it's very, very similar to a breach. Well, Microsoft is what you would categorize as too big to fail. And the Windows environment or the Windows operating system always had bugs. And the essence of it, they're trying to provide cybersecurity services by using outside vendors to do that. And the environment will always have bugs, will always have the so-called opportunities for it to crash. It's historical. You're not going to change it because everybody's using Microsoft Windows and also virtual machines. That's you're not going to change. I'm sure that the stock of Apple went up, but most of the world today still uses for its business the Windows environment, and that's not going to change. It's a very good point. The point is that the trust actually is not so much with Microsoft, because Microsoft is a software development company. It does what it can to make sure that it can productize an environment, make it much more efficient, and so forth. The problem is that the internet itself is not safe. And the internet was, when it was developed to be open communications, open standards. So the essence of it is we have to figure out how to make the internet itself much more hardened, much more protected. That's where the big issue is in cybersecurity. That's where things actually are. That's where you kind of lay the blame the most. But as far as Microsoft, it invests also a lot of money into its own protection. It has a lot of activities in many, many laboratories in the world, in Menlo Park, in Germany, in Israel, in the UK. They have the best brains to figure out how to do things. But like anything else, we as humans, we have problems in terms of we are not 100% precise. We create some of these things. But that said, it's also the internet. The internet itself is not that protected in terms of communication. That's where you have also a lot of vulnerabilities. And all these agents, when they go through and they do what they do, if it's a control problem, one thing. But if it's opens up a door to vulnerabilities, then you have hackers coming in. So it's a very complex. I think that in this instance, it's going back and taking George Kurtz at his word. It's an internal problem of CrowdStrike. They did not put full quality control into a software update. Microsoft got to crash its systems because of that, not because of Russia. Now, Russia has a lot of cybersecurity capabilities to attack at any time and also to manipulate the elections in the US. This was not done by Russia, but if Russia were to do it, it shows them that it's easy to do so just because of what I said. The internet is very easy, and you can use this to do many things, and you can use even the cybersecurity companies to open up doors when they do their patches, just because there are a lot of vulnerabilities with those patches. So these are things which are interdependent to a certain extent, and the global cyber arena is very complex because of it.